now. So K2 made another intro for that episode number 4. So thank you, K2, once again for the masterpiece. Here is the intro, guys, for you to enjoy. It's this one.
Welcome to the 4th episode of the ClutchCast. Besides the standard cup talk, we will delve into discussions about what the next special event could be. Tonight's guests are staple members of the community, Banko and Waterkater. Join us, voice your opinion, and see where we land. Nations Cup, All-Star Game, America vs Europe, Sniper Arena, IDEM, Estam or ITDM. Here's your host of the evening, Mr. Drome of the Insane Fragging Squad. No issue.
Yeah, another very well done music intro. I needed to up the level of the video now because K2 is just doing some crazy work. I will try to have the agenda featured in the video next time. So in this agenda for this episode of the ClutchCast, we will once again talk about the previous results of the Invite Cup, and we will stay focused on the Invite Cup. As I said many times before, we'll talk about Open Cup when it's the playoff. So we'll talk about the previous games from previous week. We'll talk about the upcoming matches in the Invite Cup. There are 4, while with 2 being played tonight, right after this episode. And most importantly, last time it was a big success to talk about the top 5 of each country and everything. Now we want to talk about the future and not about the past. And we will have some debates and discussion. And hopefully all of you guys watching will be able to discuss with us about your opinions and suggestions that we have about some coming events we could run. We have some fun ones in our mind, but obviously we need to have some feedbacks to know if you will enjoy it or not. To debate that, you can talk on Discord in the ClutchCast number 4 thread, just below ClutchCast channel, or you can chat on Twitch as well. I have an eyes on both. But to talk about all of that, I have 2 guests with me on this episode. It's Banko. Hello, Banko.
Hello.
Thank you for joining. And we got Waterkater as well to help us with this episode and everything else.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, pleasure. It's very nice that you both can join me in this episode because both of you have been doing tons of things for the community. So it's normal to have you talk about what could be next in this episode. That's the main topic. So first, we'll talk about what happened before on the Invite Cup. So let me switch quickly the view, and we start with Exe, that's Skarn team, who played against FSG, that's Putze team in Group B. That was a very important game for Skarn to win because they didn't start well in the cup. But it didn't end correctly, even though it started very well with a 3-0 win on Sprinter. Sprinter was picked by Exe, so that's... yeah, I mean,
I think it makes sense. If you look at the blue team, they're not really a sprinter team.
Yeah,
they can definitely frag and hold down mid, but I don't see like that good sprinter runner there at all.
That's very true. Kangsta and Riven, they probably outfragged everyone on mid except Solid Snake. But I'm very curious that maybe Putze was started as defender because he has very low grabs.
He did. Yeah.
So he went full offense, but I see that probably GB tried to lock it down after a solid first cap and Apocalypse of the main grabber. So it worked. It started well, and then it was an overtime, so another heartbreaker for Skarn's team because they lost command 4-3. I think it was overtime, but judging by, or maybe not. Was it?
I think. As far as I know, they capped right before it was about to enter overtime.
Very solid game by Putze there and by Riven.
Yep. And they were up every time. Skarn's team, as I was watching, always had to then counter cap. But then Putze still had the pressure, I think, most of the time.
Yeah, with Putze and Riven on command.
And there were some cross steals there. Interesting cross steals happening there.
I remember that. I think Putze tried to hide somewhere on in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's that one.
And it failed, right?
It failed. Yes.
As expected, right? So yeah, let me get some music in the background. So okay, so 4-3 for Putzoder. So the decider map was Acrony, and once again, a 1 cap loss for Skarn's team, unfortunately, with 2-1. I am not sure if that went to overtime, judging by the frag, maybe.
I remember a lot of flag standoffs that didn't go anywhere because Putza scored fairly early, and they held down the lead until Skarn's team capped it right at the end.
Right at the end,
But then they lost overtime afterwards again. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that 3-0 loss got to SSG so much that they were like, all right, we're not letting that happen again.
Yeah.
And then Skarn's team then just got unlucky at all the standoffs and the overtime.
Yeah,
but Acrony was kind of a bore fest. So
pretty much still the deal for Skarn's team with 3 losses and only one map won, which was that Sprinter game. Next game was the that's not the correct one, that's the coming one. There we go. Next game was my team, well, finals team, what else against no one. What else team missing 2 players, had to go with Loco as a sub, who fortunately could help us out not forfeit because it was a bit difficult to schedule that game. That game was supposed to be on week 1, and it's only played now when Skarn was playing already his 3rd match of the cup. Well, nothing went right, so when nothing goes right, everything goes to shit, basically. We've tried something different with finals on mid, mid, on offense, on overflow with me and Evolution defending. Basically, you have some of those games where you lose every single situation when, like, you are on the same side and they return and they go through, or you go on one side against one guy and that guy managed to return against everyone while the opponent can manage to cap on the other side. Well, it was a bit of everything that could be wrong went wrong for us on overflow. And obviously, Rumdrop had a crazy game, and Fonzie had some crazy cherry picks as well.
Yeah, I saw Fonzie also very strong.
Yeah,
I think that boosted him to the top stats on caps.
Definitely.
I think
on a map like this, it's it was basically we saw we could get some control, but overflow is very hard to control. And Miss had a very poor game. We had he basically went for the running guy, but because I couldn't pressure as offense as I was defending for this time. Well, nothing went well, and Grudge was a bit the same.
Can we talk a bit about your choice for map pick here? Because I can see Overflow working normally with your normal lineup, but now you had a bit of different team.
Basically,
the obvious opponent, I would have probably chosen a different one.
Well, it's
a slower map. At least.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe we wanted to try Unfractures against them, but Stong is very, very good at Unfra. And we also banned, I don't even remember what we banned, but it was very stupid to not ban Grudge against Rumdrop, I think. Yeah. It obviously it's easier to say after, but when you look at his performance on Grudge, he was basically destroying us. We expect Rumdrop and Mateta to be our 2 best players, but they were just way better than us on this, alongside all their teams, basically.
Yeah.
Stong had a super strong defense as well with Mateta. Well, we were outclassed on every aspect of the game, so nothing really to say about it. When you start losing, you just go full offense, and then the score doesn't really reflect it. But
no.
Yeah, it was just a poor game. It's going to be very difficult now to qualify. Next game was the 5 against UC. A lot of caps happened there as well. So TF picked Rune. They won that 5-0 on the New York server. Obviously, featuring 4 American players with Unador. Toddy Humpty finally played, and Unreal Shots. Bolchi had a crazy good game also, despite the bad ping.
He's always saying he doesn't mind US servers. So
I don't, not understanding too much the stats of that game.
I guess Crow was on fallback duty.
Okay,
yeah, but on 5.
2 maybe, but 5-0. Right. And then that means he just had 1 grab after they went full offense?
This is the one match that I don't know who was banning maps for TF, but I feel like they did a very bad job.
Probably the random wheel.
Yep. possibly. Because Rune, for their pick, when they know they're going to play a New York server, they're not a Rune team, in my opinion. Nani can definitely do stuff on Rune, but that's like the only one.
Yeah.
While all of Red is a Rune team. And then their second map is...
I mean, Tox hates.
Nuance
yeah, they didn't ban Nuance, and then they...
Sunrid Shots, Bolchi, yeah.
Humpty and Owner, yeah.
Onador. Well, I don't want to throw things, but that offense doesn't look that scary. I mean, on UC side, their strongest point is the defense. But
Correct.
when you look at that, it doesn't look like it's crazy fragging or something on offense. But on TF side, it's not fragging on offense neither. So I don't understand. I don't know what happened in that game.
Yeah, I only watched this one very briefly. The only thing I could see is that both map picks and server choice, everything was against the five.
I have Tox and Riven on the chat saying that they wanted to have Nuance. Nuance was already banned by us. We wanted Onfra, but they banned it. I understand why they banned Onfra against you guys, for sure. Kaiser on flag stand with Tox, the CEO of the map and everything. I fully understand why Onfra got banned by UC. But then why the Rune pick? I'm not too much of a fan with that. I probably something like Dooku would have been better, because on you would I feel like TF would outfrag UC on the I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe fragging is also not really TF's game. I mean, they work well together normally.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I feel like
maybe it's just
just like I don't know, just like the. You see what I said about UC. I feel like the strong point for TF is their defense, but the offense is not for. Basically, Nani is a very good runner if he has the good cover with him, but he doesn't have the cover there, so he has to do everything. So I don't know. SDN did Duko in week 1 and we got frag them by 100 on New York, maybe scare them off. Okay, that's empty's words. Alright, so that's a bit like Scarn's team. TF is probably out with 0 map 1, 6 map lost, difficult one for this draft. Then we have the fake IFS against LDM, so that's another very strong game. I think you've played in that one, Banko?
Yeah, I did.
As a sub for
Divno.
Divno, okay. It started 1-0 on his stack, picked by you guys.
It was an interesting match. I subbed, which is fine. And then as I started, I had 150 ping and 20% packet loss for all 3 maps. But I just decided to follow Sedino's orders, whatever they were, on his stack. He asked me to grab. But I ended up doing way more fallback in his stack than I think Sedino wanted. Just because I also then got unlucky where Hatchet got that unlit dark skin and not the foreskin. So not Hatchet, sorry. Dizzy did. So every time I'd go in there, so anytime I'd grab to base, I could kill Slips, but then the other one was always just hiding in a corner and I couldn't quite see. But we managed to grab it out at the end. But this was definitely the most exhausting map.
Thanks, Judd. Thanks, Judd.
Yep.
I see 1-0, but it was an overtime, I see, because obviously Salino has 200 frags plus, so a long one.
It was at like 6.5 minutes, right as the delay kicked in.
And
Salino
then
managed to push up to the left.
Nuance. Nuance is another 1-0 with LGM getting on top this time. No overtime on this one, from what I see.
Yep. It was actually a super close game.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed Nuance the most because we were all grabbing. The fish, or the fake IFS, so to speak, had more grabs than LDM total combined, which is also rare, but and both teams had flags returned at base. I think they definitely had more flags out to their base. I know I returned a few, but at the end it was right 1945. It was that unfortunate situation when we had the flag, they had the flag, they all pushed it, we died, and then they capped.
I see.
So, but it was a super close game. I thought Nuance was the most fun.
And the decider one was Rune. That you guys won 4-0. Flo saying, notice how I had copied my frag on all 3 maps. Yeah, I see that. But you have twice his grabs though, so I guess yours were more useful. 4-0, so was it like I see some Mass G there as well after you got the lead, and Salino turned into Grabino on this one, correct?
Correct. Yep. He said, "Let's all grab." I barely had a chance to grab in the first like 8 minutes that I was playing offense. But then Sedino told me, "Hey, the moment we're up, play high left D." That's what I did. But Sedino had very clutch moments in this entire map. He was definitely MVP. Not only did he get that first cap out, then there was a standoff at 1-0. Obviously, we went with 4 cover, and Sedino solo returned, brought it to 2-0, and at that point, it was over.
Who was missing on LGM side for Laterade to play? Laterade is a Chelsea player, right?
That is correct.
Who do they have as another 6?
Their other 6 was in the first or second map.
Rev.
I forgot.
Revolt?
Revolt, yeah.
Okay, and Revolt
Yes,
didn't play at all. Okay, interesting. He didn't play any of the maps, right? Yeah, he didn't. He played only his stack. I see.
Yep.
Was close game, 1-0, they won the standoff to make it 2-0, and then we just push 4-5-0 to try to cap said slips. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's actually an important game, because now the fake IFS is just on top of LGM in the standings. LGM hasn't won a match yet, but they won maps in both of their games, so yeah, that's a very difficult group in Group A. It's very close. Anyway,
Yeah,
now
I think
we get.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You want to conclude on
I was
this?
just gonna say that, like, technically LDM maybe has a chance if they win the rest and everyone
of
else
course.
loses, but it's gonna be interesting.
From the last cups, I remember it all comes down to map 1 sometimes and direct matchup for tiebreakers. So yeah.
Yep.
Then in the coming games we have TF against LGM. So TF is already out, but I'm sure they still want to play good and at least get some maps. They don't want to end the cap with 0-8 when it comes to map win-loss. So who do you guys have as a winner in this one?
I mean, it's tough. LDM, regardless if they're at the second bottom of the standings, they definitely have the best offense in the game collectively as 3 people together. I would definitely have to just side with LDM solely due to that, because on TF side, the only ones that could really that can attack and break down LDM's defense, which is actually not bad. Dizzy and Slips are not bad players.
Yeah.
Is just Nani. So if LDM can control Nani, I don't see much of a chance for TF here.
All right. The poll has been created on ClutchCast 4 on Discord, guys. If you want to give your vote for either TF to win this game or LGM to win this game. Water, do you have any prediction?
No, I also think LDM will win. Mostly because I think TF is like a momentum team. If they had the win in early on in the cup, they might have steamrolled it all the way. But now I think their mental is like just down. You see them talking in chat also.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning anymore.
All right. So let's see. It's starting right after this ClutchCast episode.
Oh, okay.
After that game, during that game there will be another one with what else? My team against M. That's I think it's Jusik, their captain. I think so. Yeah. Another important match, I feel like, for the standings. Jusik has played only 1 match so far that they won against Exe, if I remember correctly. It was a very close game, 0-1, 0-1, both in overtime. Both in overtime.
Will you have your main team?
Extreme should be back. He's still driving home now. Ice Spice is still not returned from Thailand. So
And you have a sub?
Loco is playing for us again. Yeah. If Extreme is back, he's probably playing. If Loco, otherwise we have Loco. A bit difficult to not have those 2 players we've picked on the same duration, but we have to go with what we can. So what else against M? I will create the poll now. So guys, I'm not gonna predict it, of course, so I let you guys talk about it.
Sure. I think it's a tough one to call. Meme United, as the draft finished, on paper they looked like the strongest team. They definitely had 2 unknowns, I guess. Damien hasn't played for a while, but he's been pugging now.
He played very strong in the first match.
Yeah. Misa doesn't pug as much, but she does. And as I've been playing pugs, not only has Damien still had his high AC and high fragging, he has also been one of the most annoying players to play against. He doesn't just mid control like Sedino, but in every pug I've been in, if I'm grabbing and I'm by myself and I shoot 2D, the next, I think their D is respawning, but no, it's Damien coming back. I don't know necessarily if his playstyle is always run through the base and then leave, or if I got unlucky and I've only been playing against him on Nuance. But he's been a very smart player. He can frag. So the meme team is very strong. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the map. I think any open maps where what else can run away with the flag, where you can't have Serenity or someone catch up, that might work. But I feel like that goes both ways. It's very hard for me to call. Obviously, I think on paper it's still going to be Meme United.
So I think very map choice dependent here on this one. If you have a closed map, I don't think what else will have a chance. Because I think closing down things is just their other memes is much stronger. I think their strength and both their strength and weaknesses is that their whole team is versatile. They can all of them can do attack and defense.
Yeah.
And I think if you have an open map, or well, you call it open map, I call them fast maps. Then what else I think does have a chance. I mean, yeah. So I will say 2-1 to Memes United.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because Invite Cup doesn't have that many fast maps.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think 2-1 is reasonable. I think it'll go to at least 3 maps, unless something ridiculous happens or someone has their super.
But use Loco at what he's good at if you're using him.
Yep.
We'll see.
Just let
the
him
maps,
shoot.
Maps banned.
Don't let him run.
Picks.
Just let him shoot.
Yeah, they've not been done yet. Waiting for finals to be online to do it. Next game is going to be on Sunday. That's no one against Memes United again. That's a very good one also to predict. I guess it will be easier to predict after the game of tonight for Memes United, so they can show a bit more of what they're capable of. But no one, I've seen them play and they are insanely strong. So I'm gonna create the poll now for you guys on Discord. And yeah, if you want to talk about it.
I think no one is the only team that comes close to Meme United on paper, like as the draft finished. Just because obviously it's a very strong PT team, but then they have Ram Drop right as their top pick with Mateta, where that alone, it doesn't even matter who else they drafted. That alone like sets up their defense and sets up their offense.
Yeah.
But they still took all the strong offense players. Stong and Audio, when they're banging out and they're in the zone, can be amazing offense players. And so can even Fractal and Fonzie, as we saw. So I think that team definitely probably has chemistry. I don't think it'll take very long for Ramdrop to warm up playing with them. So it's very scary. So.
He played amazingly against us already, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually...
So it's hard.
I would go for... If no one plays their A game, I actually am predicting a 2-0 for no one.
Interesting.
2-0, okay. I would still expect Memes United to win their own map pick. They will pick just, like I said, a closed-off map, and they will be very strong there. And then Warren can use that map to warm up and then stomp them on the third one. But I will never bet against Ramdrop, not just because of the MK, but it's just how he always shows up when he needs to. So.
Yep. All right, and then to conclude, we have Waterkater against FSG, another game that can be very important for the last to know the ranking and to know who qualifies. FSG is right now sitting on top. I think they've played 3 of their matches already, no? Only 2. Isn't that supposed to be the last match week, though? Oh, let me see. FSG. Who they haven't played. So we play them on next... oh no, they will have another one. Okay, okay, yeah. Interesting. So they will have a game against Memes United at the very, very, very end. All right, so that game, what else against FSG? Well, too early to talk about it for me. I have no idea. We'll see. Probably if we lose tonight 2-0, I'm not even sure if that game will matter at all. But of course, we'll still play to our strengths. And Ice Spice will be back for us on that game. Very difficult to predict also.
The only thing I could say is that I think obviously both teams would play to win. But knowing Putza, he really plays to win, and he will whip his team into shape. And it will be a difficult match.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have a good prediction yet. It is, in fact, a little bit far out. But
I'll just create the poll right now, and you can just vote and do your prediction later on. It's all...
When will you play this match? Sunday?
On Sunday, yes. And by then we will have played all our games, so maybe finals, me and Tox and a lot of people, we can just watch the playoff from Amsterdam when we all meet up. All right, yeah, so spoiler alert, there won't be any ClutchCast next Thursday. I will be in Amsterdam with the guys, or maybe we do one from Finals House with Phil and Finals as my guest. We will see about that, but... yeah, it's going to be a lot of pictures shared and news stories and things like this. It's always fun to see UT players meeting up.
if you can get a round table and like 3 mics doing a real podcast,
like a real one,
cool.
yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We'll
And
see.
Joe Rogan cast if I see the plans for you.
We'll need the makeup artist and stuff. All right, so that concludes the talk about spoiler alert, hopla. That concludes the talk about the Invite Cups. Now is the talk that everyone's been waiting for as well. I've seen tons of people talking about that, so I want to spam once more because I'm sure that people will be interested into debating this one. It's about what event we could run after the Draft Cups. We know that summer season is always a bit more calm when it comes to UT, even though maybe ranked pugs will still keep some activity alive, but probably it's good to have something to play for as well. Because that's when we have nothing to play for, that we are just not bothered practicing.
I don't. Yeah.
A lot of
Usually
people,
within...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, usually after like a week or two, pugs die down, and it's only the people that are constantly playing cups and events are always the ones that make sure that keeps it going.
Yeah, so people sometimes blame if we choose a format or a mod that not everyone likes, but we do see that the activity moves then to those mods, huh? So I think...
Yeah. So the idea is basically to talk about what kind of events we could run. And so I've seen a lot of people talking about Nations Cup. So my official opinion is that I'm very against it, because I feel like it's I imagine it's basically 2 points of view that you would have on Nations Cup. You either see that as a way to have people from the same country playing together no matter their level, or you think of Nations Cup as being the highest possible stage, basically, with Clan Cup, of course. And basically to fill countries, aka teams, with players who would not normally belong is just a waste of time for everyone involved. I think some countries would be a bit too weak against some of the like top countries in the scene that still have some top players available. A team like Portugal, like Germany, like UK, like NA, they have no one to play against if you take those 4 out. So for me, the Nations Cup doesn't make much sense. Now I've seen people trying to say, but if there is a Nations Cup, some players will come back active and play for it. No, because they would get destroyed. And the perfect example of that is Killer made a quick comeback to try to play a little bit, and he didn't enjoy it at all. But Killer was named one of the top player of Europe, and for France for sure, and one of Europe on his era. He tried to come back a little bit just for the fun of some pugs, and he didn't enjoy it, and he left. Asking some players to come back to play against the best of the best is a ridiculous idea. Now, that's my take for Nations Cup. But
I agree.
for a show match, that's something different. On a specific evening, if you want to have the top 5 of Germany against the top 5 of UK, you can go ahead. But it doesn't need to be an event. You can do that in the ladder already.
Yep.
I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have anyone who's in favor of Nations Cup as guest. It's not on purpose, but
For me, that's not only the only downside of this, because I feel also it's time to have a combined whole community event again.
Absolutely.
And once again, Nation Cup it's just a small portion of players.
I agree with that. So that seals the deal for the Nations Cup. It's not coming back as a cup because it won't work. I've seen people saying, but if you combine everyone from Scandinavia and if you combine Belgium and France, and you can do that by creating clans and playing the ladder if you like.
Yeah.
I remember when FC challenged IFS in the ladder game. We had like 40
viewers,
or, we had like 40 or 50 viewers, just like a final of a cup would have. And it was just a ladder match. But if you want to play with... I know Germany, they have their own team on the ladder. I know Portugal, they have their own team in the ladder. I think France, well, it's a French clan led by French Empire. They could do that as well and speak in their native language if they want. But so everyone is free to do it, but as an actual event, it doesn't make sense. I've seen some people saying about, but we can do divisions. Division in the Nations Cups doesn't work neither. It would be a bit too much. Like if you, I forgot about Croatia. Croatia could have a very strong team as well in the Nations Cup in a way, but some players, like if you do Estonia, RT would destroy everyone if he plays against a lower skill country. Yep. Because he's much above everyone else if he would play against Italy or whatever. So it just doesn't make sense to have that. Guys, if you want to do that, create clans, challenge other teams, challenge nations, challenge teams. I know the top spot is always open for a challenge, so go ahead and do that if you want. But as an event run by the team, the league admins, it doesn't work. But we have other suggestions that would involve many more players. So I see a lot of people talking about Sniper. But now I need your enlightenment there, banko and Waterkater, because I have no knowledge about netcodes and why it's not working, or is it fixed, or if you want to talk about that, about Sniper. Is it possible to run?
It is definitely possible to run. A bunch of Sniper fixes in the latest IG Plus have actually been fixed, thanks to Blackout when he came back and started randomly playing like a 1v1. They had fixed those. And for the weapons community, IG Plus also had an update where you can have a smaller headshot hitbox as an option. So, because in Sniper and Zero Ping, that headshot box is gigantic. You could shoot someone above the shoulder and it'll count as a headshot just because it's just one big rectangle. So it might be a good idea to try SATF with a smaller headshot hitbox. I think it might be fun. The accuracy will go down, and then it'll just come down to item control and everything, especially if there's going to be power-ups in play. It could definitely be fun.
How would you run an event like this? Would it be like a draft, even though we have no knowledge about sniper skill? Because probably some people are not as good in instant.
Well, we have many people that are sniper players in the ICTF community. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. Finals is one of them.
Yeah, I know he's used to be, but would it be a setup team? Would it be draft? How would you run that? What would be the best? Or would you think the normal weapon guys, they would like to stay together because they know each other? Or how would you run that?
I think it all depends on interest. Obviously, I think every time a cup ends, you have the meme from Bat posting Sniper Cup when. The sad part about Sniper Cup is I think it's very hard to get a bunch of signups, and there is an even bigger learning curve. It's not full-on weapons, but there are still power-ups to control. There's still timings that people won't know, especially if you have things like amp and belt in a map. It would just completely change the trajectory of a team.
What about the map
I would,
list?
yeah, the map list would have to be a definite combination of weapons maps and IG maps. Not all IG maps work in Sniper. Obviously, you have staples like Prixon, what that work better in Sniper than they do in IG. I think any map that is more totally on defense but allows power-up control to open it up is probably the map to pick. I didn't really think of a good map list yet for Sniper, but I'm going to lean towards a draft versus a clan cup just because of the lack of interest.
All right.
With a draft, you can at least get minimum amount of players and try to come up with tiers and etc. to make it balanced. Because if you do a clan cup, divisions would be hard because there's not enough players, and there's going to be some teams that will just smoke the other ones. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Real bad.
All right. So I've created a poll, guys, on Discord. You can click yes or no thanks to say if you're interested in trying Sniper. What could happen is maybe to try it with a list of volunteers and try to play one map or two on stream to see how it looks and how it works. Maybe that could gather some interest, and obviously if we find out that interest is there, we can also ask the normal weapon community to join us in that combined event. One of the things that would be a bit difficult is maybe to have 5-on-5 clan cup in or draft cup during summer. So that's one of the things that would be a bit difficult when it comes to those events. It should be a fast event, maybe something that goes just over a month max, because I feel like anything longer would be difficult to schedule when it comes to summer.
Oh yeah, that depends how you set up your league, right? So if you have bigger teams but not so strict rules on everyone must play, then it also opens it up for easier scheduling.
Exactly. So here's the who did the Grim? Okay, Grim doing some super reaction to fuck it up. All right, so I have two suggestions myself. So the first one would not be a cup, but it would be, I would call that the Clutch Cup. So the Clutch Cup would basically be just a one-night event with two captains picking players. A team would be made of, I don't know, like 8-9 players or something like that. And it would be on one night. The full map list of the Invite Cup would be played. But of course, we don't want to see. We don't want to play for hours and hours. There would be just a little change in the rules because it's the Clutch Cup. You have to be clutch. So the time limit would be just 1 minute. So it goes straight into overtime after 1 minute. And you have the increased spawn delay of after 5 minutes. That's correct, Banko? It's 5 minutes, right?
Correct.
All right. So basically, 1 minute normal game time. Then overtime. If you cap first, then obviously you win the map. It goes to the next one. So I would imagine that one map would last 10 minutes max with the overtime and the spawn delay. We have 11 maps in the map pool. So that would be maximum 2 hours of an evening. And as I've said, the two teams would have 9 to 10 players in total. So you can always adjust who you want to, who you would fit for what maps, and based on strength, based on a lot of things. So that could work. It's just a one-night event, and I feel like it's totally possible to have that running, because even though it would be just a one-night event during summer, it would still feature some high-level gameplay, and you could run that for the Invite Cup, and you could run that for the Open Cup as well.
Yeah. I like the idea. I think it's fairly interesting. And
you can even make it more strict. Have to kick the overtime or the spawn delay kick in even sooner.
Yeah, we could change it because it's
make it more drastic, make the games faster. 5-minute games, go.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you could do something like if the spawn delay kicks in after 3 minutes or something, then you can just get some caps faster, and it would be about clutch. So maybe you would see some different strategy, and I don't think we would see mass defense or whatever, except maybe if someone caps under 1 minute. I could totally see some people going like for 4 offense immediately just to try to get something before the overtime kicks in. Spawn delay from the start, full stand 5-0. Yeah, I really like the idea. Cheers for that. Yeah, Mateta. I see some interest in the chat. That could be something. I called it Clutch Cup, but it would not be a cup, just like a show match. And basically, it would remove the 20 minutes of boredom that we sometimes have on some maps, because then you have the spawn delay kicking it faster. So maybe we would see some different strategy, maybe just 1D and 4-0, or a lot of different things could happen there. And I feel like it could be a good event, and also it could feature some interesting picks when it comes to the draft of the players, because we talk about CEO of maps. Maybe it could be cool to have something like this. When it comes to, like, oh, it's going to be Rune, I'm going to put my best Rune players of my full roster of 10 players, expecting them to be available on that specific evening, of course. But it could be some fun things to watch, and we could see who is the most clutch team and the clutch players, if the one who managed to cap during the overtime and stuff like that. So that would be the concept that could work and not too difficult to set up.
I agree. I think another thing you technically try, if the maps are only going to be 5 to 10 minutes long, is you could play the same map where one team decides to be 5-0 and the other one's 5D, and then you play it again, but flip the positions.
Yeah, like round-based CTF, but that may be a bit more tricky to do. What I suggest as well, I've seen some people saying sounds kind of fun, but mix the OC and invite players. That kind of event with the clutch stuff could work in the two cups, basically the invite one and the open cup one. So what could work is to have some electric captains. I remember on clan base we used to have that. I don't know if you remember that, Water, but we had some kind of players vote on the clan base poll on the side, and then they would go and make a all-star
per division.
team. Yeah, per division. So that could work basically with, we would ask who is volunteered to captain for the clutch event, the clutch night, or whatever name we can come up with, and then we just figure out a drafting system. I don't want it to be limited by groups. I want just the full list of players. But maybe if we go with well, I haven't really figured out about the tier stuff. Obviously, most of the tier A player would be picked instantly, but we could also think about something like only 2 tier A player can play on per maps or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could do, if everything is tiered appropriately, you could even have a wheel spinning for teams. Just because it's a one-day event.
Yeah, that could work as well. Yeah, we could use the wheel as well for the draft.
Use the ELO ball to some good extent and make fair ELO teams.
That's something we could run. I will make a poll anyway, just to see if there can be some interest. Clutch night event. Ask for explanation. If you didn't watch ClutchCast. Yes, well, I mean, no, I'm out. There we go. Yeah, and if you vote no, I ban you. Next suggestion that I had, that could be a bigger one also. And basically everything would be a bit new. So my idea was that during summer we have fewer players and fewer availabilities due to enjoying the summer. So it's difficult to maybe have 10 players available on the same evening. So my suggestion was to create a 3-on-3 cup. That solves a lot of different issues that we have with the current state of ICTF. So with 3-on-3, it would be obviously some new maps. So I've listed some maps that would work. We have Abreeze, we have Inca, we have FME, we have Extortion, we have Control. Even Dooku could work in 3-on-3. And probably I'm very old when it comes to the map thing, so I'm not the one who likes to test the new maps much, but probably you can suggest some other maps that could work in a 3-on-3 ICTF match. That would solve the Mass D, because 3 attackers against 3 defenders, even if they want to Mass D, you can still figure out a way to cap, and especially on small maps like that. It would be new maps, no Mass D, and easier to schedule with only 6 players need to be there. And that would create also some more Bloxy and Checkmate. Yes, I don't even know those maps, but probably if they could be given a try. What I like about the 3-on-3, yeah, so no problem with mass defense, some new maps, easier to schedule. And what we could do is basically create 3 different tiers in the player base, and you have to pick one in each tier. So it must be one super high, one middle skilled player, and one super low player. Or super low, lower I mean, no offense anyone. But that could work, or we just decide to create still 2 different cups with invite and open.
Yeah.
But that could work.
Yeah, it could work. It's also interesting. I think different format than we are currently always doing. Yeah. I do think that not that long ago they did a 3-on-3 in one of the other, maybe Unreal Heaven or something.
I think it was definitely Unreal Haven. Maybe Giblets did a tournament. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So yeah, but I think it's interesting in this play base. So.
Yep.
So yeah, at least it would be some new maps, less whining about the spawns, less whining about the mass G, and it doesn't need to be like a 20 minutes per map thing. It can be a 10 minutes. We can play around with that, basically. It doesn't need to be 20 minutes per map. We can do 10 minutes per map. We can do a bit whatever. And it could be some, I feel like it could be some good juking, good boost, a lot of good stuff that we don't really have anymore with 5-on-5 because of the spawns everywhere, the spawn delay that is still too short for me.
Meta, the fallback, everything.
Yeah, 3-on-3, you kill someone, you make a double kill, you're almost out, basically. So that could be interesting. I will put Paul again. Paul, create 3-on-3 cups. Yes, not interested. There we go. So that was my suggestions. Now I've seen some suggestion about having multiple game modes. I let you guys talk about that.
So my idea basically was we make one bigger summer event where we combine all the requested game modes. So that would be Sniper and that would be SDOM and maybe some others that are always talked about and requested. Why is nobody doing this or that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to step forward and do it.
That's good.
Even if I've never played Sniper, I've never played SDOM. I don't even know if I would like it, but okay. If it's combined and it's different from ICTF, what we're currently always doing, I'm a bit tired of it. So
yeah,
then I'm willing to put in some time. And I've asked around a little bit. My idea would be to so basically have those game mods in every match you play. You mix up you have to play one of the game mods with fixed maps and fixed schedules. You would have bigger teams. You would draft like say 8 players or something, and then you could mix up your lineups on all the different game modes.
Yep.
And then but then again, I would need help from people that do know SDOM, that do know Sniper.
Right. So would you go with like a fixed team and they play every mod? So basically, the people who are very good in normal weapon and people who are versatile, they would be like very, very interesting picks in that sense.
Yeah, that's what the smart captain would do, I think.
Yeah.
But I would also, to make it more interesting, because I always hear people that are in a higher ranking say, I don't want to join this lower. So I could make it more interesting that you could sign up as duos.
Okay.
If you're willing to captain, then you can sign up as
captain
duo.
And co-captain, that's maybe more motivating for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's an awesome idea. Like I wrote it on the same thing last night. I called it like a triathlon cup.
Hmm. What game modes were you thinking of then, Banko?
I was just calling it like a triathlon cup.
Yeah, but what game modes were you thinking of?
I just wrote them down. The only thing I would say that shouldn't happen is I wouldn't say like it should be IG and Sniper. They're both CTF, and playing 2 CTF modes probably isn't fun.
It was SDOM. It's get requested quite a lot.
Yep.
I know people really liked it during Owned Well, so...
No, SDOM is super fun. And like, so if you do CTF, SDOM, that third one could be something as ridiculous as maybe normal weapons TDM. Because the idea behind the Triathlon Cup or Jailbreak is it would be nice to, who is the team or who are the most well-rounded players in all of UT?
Yeah.
You could be like the best IG player, but you're not necessarily the best normal weapons player. Maybe Flo will disagree or something, but that might be the only thing. I think it will be really fun just to know who's what, especially if you have that team of 8 where you could split it up on who's playing ICTF, who's playing SDOM, and who's playing TDM.
Yeah.
That could work. That could work. I'm going to... How would I name that? Paul create...
Mix
Cup. What would be
the... Mix because
the
it's on Insta.
ICTF, Sniper CTF, Normal Weapon CTF?
So not ICTF. I would leave that one out, actually.
Okay. So Sniper CTF.
Yeah.
Is it SCTF or SACTF? I don't even know. SA, okay. Normal Weapon CTF. What would be the other mods?
SDOM, maybe normal weapons TDM, or maybe if we want, But you could do dumb things like last man standing, but I don't think that mode works very well.
Yeah, that would be like TDM. I'd play that. No thanks. There we go. All right. Do we have any other? So Banko, I don't know what you are thinking with some of those suggestions.
Not only did I get blazed, I also did it at 1 in the morning yesterday. So.
So I'm just gonna go over the list. So a day event where time limit is removed and the only ways to win is to cap 5. Game with longest play time will be shamed. That could work as a day event, but I like the clutch event better to make people go for caps.
Yep.
I feel like
I think the clutch idea is more dynamic. It's
yeah. And from what I see on the thread, a lot of people are already in. Free Cups not interested, has already a lot of votes, and Sniper is mixed. It's mixed between yes and no. So maybe the clutch thing would have more.
Well, one doesn't really rule out the other, right? I mean, the clutch thing could be.
Yeah, of course. It's not one or the other one, but it's just to. Obviously, we can't run everything at once. It's just to see what can happen after the drafts. You also suggested a Nali Warco event. Everyone is forced to use the Warco as their skin.
That one was just there for fun because I think the hitbox is the same, but it'll confuse the crap out of everyone shooting at tiny little cows.
Yeah.
But
if that could be for server side, maybe. But let me just fuck off, Prada, idiot. Now we have and you suggested winner of Open against winner of Invite Cup. That would not work, I think, because it would be too much of a gap. But the worst team could have their own loser final to know who is the worst team of the cup. So that could be TF against Exe, maybe.
And a loser needs to play an Open Cup next time.
Yeah, or I think in the parentheses also added maybe the lowest ranked. The lowest invite team versus the open winner, or a fun exhibition match.
Tier 2 players against the open winners.
Yep. I mean, you can have more things on the line there, which might make it fun. Lowest team invite, they're banned from Champ Pugs or something for like a month if they lose.
Yes.
The idea is not to kill the activity of the game, but
or
you can
everyone in open gets to play Champ Pugs.
I know what you can do, Banko. You can force their name when they play ranked to something very silly. If it's Skarn team losing, or if it's Tox team or Kaiser's team losing, then you just change their name to something very stupid when they play in ranked pugs. But that's
true. Yeah.
That's maybe a bit toxic. I don't know, but depends of what we made their name look like. But that's some hype that I would watch that game to know who is the worst team in the Invite Cup. So anyway, that's a 1 hour long ClutchCast now. I think we're close to the 1 hour, 57 minutes. Guys, if you want to talk about that more, you are welcome to do so in ClutchCast number 4 on the thread or in ClutchCast, the general channel. I keep an eye on that. So that concludes this episode. As I said, not sure if there's going to be another episode next week, as there will be a UT meeting with many players meeting up in Amsterdam. I'll be part of that. You guys will see some pictures and everything. So that concludes this episode. We'll come back with some other topics soon. Banko, Water, thank you for joining me in that episode.
Thank you. It was definitely fun talking here for an hour versus a work meeting for an hour.
This one is a bit better for sure.
Yep.
Guys, I invite you to go and watch TF against LDM on Gamer Tom the Bomb stream. He's casting it. I will read him now and I will close that stream. In 30 minutes, I will stream again for what else against Memes United. I see you guys very soon. Thank you, the people who are in the chat and on Discord. And thank you again, Banko and Water. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, finals. Give me 1 sec. Gamer Tom the Bomb. Oh, I have an ad. I'm rating Gamer Tom the Bomb now, and then I can close the stream. I don't know if that works.